Namaskar. I have been thinking about this Freedom Convoy and what do they exactly want. What has been happening is that on Canadian side as well as on the United States side, there have been roadblocks now to try and regulate the traffic between the two countries, and the truckers were asked to be vaccinated in order for them to allow to cross the boundaries. Now, if you look at the data, I think about 85% of the truckers who are of Canadian citizenship are already vaccinated. And Canada has, I think, a flavor of 3 different vaccines. They have used Pfizer, they have used Moderna, and I think they have used AstraZeneca. Now, we know that other than Moderna, maybe the other 2 have not been very effective against this new variant called Omicron. And there are more variants also, but at least from a 20,000 foot level, things seem to be stabilizing, at least for this wave. We don't know if the next wave is going to come, what kind of ramifications those will be. I'm trying to see if there is a way that all of us can find a way through this thing so that we can get on with our lives. Now, let's see some facts. I want to take you back 2 years. On March 20th, 2020, I interviewed Dr.Shiva Ayyadurai. He's a PhD from MIT. He has 4 degrees from MIT, and he is, he's an expert in many fields. And one of the things that he said would effectively build people's antibodies to deal with COVID. Remember, March 20th, 2020 was early days of COVID. He said that just like an apple a day keeps the doctor away, vitamin A and D will keep corona away. So we had a 25-minute hangout on my channel, and it also was put on his channel. Guess what? Without explaining, YouTube just pulled it down. I still have a link to that on Daily Motion, and I'm going to put that link in Show More section. So if you want to see it, you can see it. Now, there is an Israeli study that says that vitamin D has a very important effect on COVID, which is what Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai had said. I mean, he had some basis on why he said vitamin E and vitamin D are important. He said you need to go out in the sun and get some vitamin D, kind of walk around and let the sunlight fall on your face. And as far as vitamin A was concerned, leafy vegetables, spinach, things of that nature, they have a lot of vitamin A. You could take those. Or if you want, you can even just get multivitamin pills from off the counter, off the shelf, and take those also. Why did Google take it down? They didn't give me any explanation. It was just gone. Only when somebody started sending me the link and saying that this link no longer works, then I went and looked at it and said, lo and behold, it was gone. So I don't know why. But the point I'm trying to make here is that not everything is understood about this COVID and its various variants that are coming out over a period of time. But it helps to understand that there are some precautions which kind of take care of 99% of all the concerns. For example, if the Canadian government and the United States government were to say that people who are on the streets are highly encouraged to wear masks, especially when they are in contact with other people, but you don't need to wear masks while you are driving, for example. It is very difficult to have the mask on for several hours. We have to remember that we are exhaling carbon dioxide, and if you have a mask, chances are a lot of that might go back in. So that's not good for health also. So these are simple things. If they can say something of that nature, say, okay, we will do this, we will monitor it, and thereby let the truckers resume their job, and let's all get on with our lives. That would be a good start. Also, they need to now look at the data around the world. For instance, I don't know how many of you know, Sweden did not have any COVID protocols. All they did was they isolated those they deemed as being vulnerable, and they put them aside and they regulated access to them. That was it. There were no masks, there were no mandatory lockdowns, nothing happened. Why doesn't the world look at what happened in Sweden and say, okay, so this is what we did with all our restrictions. This is what Sweden experienced with their no restrictions. Let's try and find out these are the two extremes, right? Let's find out if there's a correlation, and then let us try and get the world towards that. So there appears to be some reluctance to let go of this vaccination mindset that we have to have vaccinations, that we have to have a booster after a booster. Yeah, it fattens the purse of many pharma companies if they keep on developing this. But the point here is, if it is not being very effective, what's the point in taking these things? I think this is the frustration that is coming out in many people, and that's why there is such spontaneous support for the Freedom Convoy. So I hope in very quick time that these two governments figure out that this is what it is, and that we will relax these restrictions provided A, B, C is done. I'm sure that the truckers would see the reasoning behind that, and they would withdraw this agitation, because it doesn't help anyone. These are big bodies, they're difficult to navigate, and once you put them in places where they're back to back, it might take hours to unclog this jam that might have already happened. Thanks for watching. Do like, share, and subscribe to my channel, PGurus, and please click on the join button. If you want to be a member of our channel, you get a lot of new content that's not available to everybody, as well as click on the bell button. Namaskar.